Finish him! Get over here!
Yo, what's going on, guys? So, I was playing Daniel. I actually made a new build for him. I think it's the best build yet, like ever. uh, I'm still testing it out though. So, but I think this build is actually way better than the video that I just made calling the most tryhard Daniel build. I think this build that I'm running here is way better than that. So I'll have to probably update it. But I'm still kind of running some tests on it. So I'll definitely make a video once it's ready. So I was facing this team, this Jill Sandwich guy. I'm pretty sure he always plays in a squad. He's probably like the most tryhard, like sweaty, and also exploiter in this game currently that I know of, at least. There's those other guys that are they're called Bonjour IC or something like that. I don't know. Their names are kind of referenced to Daniel or something. They're also exploits. They do like the double card on area 2 exploits. They do all kinds of shit to try to win. Jill Sanders is kind of those type of players that they will like literally sweat and exploit everything in the game to win. Everything they can, like literally everything they can possibly. If that was like a hack, they would do it. You know what I mean? So, but they're playing a squad here, and the reason why I recorded this game because I thought it really interesting. They were kind of playing this new meta, where they're playing exploiting the cam system to the max. Because like as you know, like as a mastermind, first thing you need a camera to do anything at all. So if you don't have a cam, you're not playing the game. Second, the cameras cannot move, right? So, and they have a bunch of blind spots. Like the survivors can literally shoot the cameras without the camera being able to see them. So, you know, obviously it's a huge disadvantage, and not something that kind of should be a thing, because that's not quite fair. You know what I mean? Like fair is when both sides have a chance of countering each other, not when only one side has the advantage. So whenever you hear me referring to something as an exploit, it's kind of something that's in that nature, where only one side gets to have the fun, and the other side just has no. It's just a victim essentially, because it's kind of an exploit. It's something that's way too good. There's no counter, and it makes too much of a difference on the match to the point where, you know, it just obviously shouldn't be a thing, because it's way too good to be a thing. It's just not balanced, you know. So notice how Jill waited for January to get there. So they're playing in this kind of formation. So you see, one guys go to do the objective, and the other covers the camera. As you can see right there, she was on my camera. And besides that, outside of the room that's in play, you also have these other guys that camp the camera, as you see the Val there. So they essentially kind of cover the entire map. You see, they was already shooting my cameras up there. I don't know if you could tell that. So essentially everyone in the map in terms of cam is kind of covered. You know, you as the mastermind, you cannot play the game because they're always either camping your camera or putting pressure on it, like have heavy pressure on it. And take note that the only reason why I'm able to do anything about it is because I'm playing firstly a very well built deck, so there's a lot of fluidity in my cards. Like I can a lot of flow in my cards, so it's very easy to like circle my hands and everything because of quick draw. Cycle my hands. But if you're not using a build like this, like you would never pretty much play the game against this kind of strategy. You see how she was hacking my camera from the wall hacking right there. That's what I mean. Another exploit. This guy just is the exploit guy. Okay, he's the exploit guy. It should be like Jewel exploit. Should be his ID, because pretty much that's all he does. Well, in this case, Jan exploit, right? I don't know why he's called Jewel sandwich, but it should be like Jan exploit. Yeah, but there's like full of these spawn on the maps where they can she can like wall hack your cameras essentially with the instant ability there. Notice again how they already destroyed my camera before doing anything at all, so I cannot really, you know, pressure them off the save there. And again, I already have a shield, but that's simply because of my very well built deck flow there with the quick draw. Still good time here, but yeah, I'm probably talking to. There's probably more going on that I can talk about, so you know, try to notice the game. Besides just what I'm talking, you'll probably be able to see notice more things than what I'm commenting on. But I feel like they're also using I'm not entirely sure, but I feel like all of them maybe are using something regarding movement speed on the equipment. Okay, I feel like that's probably something that's happening. I don't know if you guys can tell better than I can, but Martin, I would say for sure. Janice probably has it as well. Her standard meta build already has skateboarding, so that's kind of to be expected. Now you can see our typical camera with the blind spot to my left there. So they can just kind of hang out there while I cannot do anything while they destroy my camera. That was right, Jill right there. With the, notice Jill is taking 90% off my health off with a single shot. That's because she's using an equipment called counter surveillance. I'm pretty sure that increases how much damage she can do to the camera, and Jill becomes a gen essentially when she's using that. So she can combine her with Jill. Something you're gonna see coming up soon here. Something they can do. You guys should probably be aware about because that works against pretty much any mastermind. It's not just this particular match I'm playing. They could do that to you on any single match, and you wouldn't be able to do much about it. Now this Martin is what is kind of giving me a chance to win because he keeps kind of rushing off alone like that. So I'm able to eat time off him. If he was moving more in a formation like his team is doing, they would probably be doing a lot better. Notice the map right there. Notice the formation, how they're on the cam inside the room, and Jen is already camping the camera behind. So it's like you as the mastermind, you cannot play the game essentially because they're just holding all your cameras hostage. The only time you can play is when the camera's recovered and you have a shield that only lasts for so long. Again, notice he's right below me, so even though I have the shield, I cannot shoot him because, again, blind spots. Why not, right? Very, very, very balanced and fair. Just let's have a bunch of blind spots. And notice how she destroyed my other camera right there. This camera that I'm using right now, she destroyed earlier, so that when Martin was on a blind spot, I also cannot shoot him. So essentially, again, I cannot play the game because they're just exploiting the cam system to the max. I cannot counter do anything whatsoever. Now Jill is also using something to kill by weapons, as you can tell here. Notice how, I don't know if this is a thing, but she actually stunned me even though I was covering my face. So I don't know how that happened, but it did happen, I guess. So there he goes. That was probably like what, 6 shots, and that final shot was a right-hand shot. So I'm not sure, but he was dead just like that. It was like 6 shots or less. Yeah, there he probably has USB. He probably has 2 equipments for USB at least for Martin, and I'm pretty sure he has movement speed. We can count on that, I would say. Again, notice how they're already going to be camping my cameras. So there she is. Like I can't do anything. Notice how that was pretty much instant as well. There goes increased cost, so I cannot do anything regardless if I have a camera or not now because it's too expensive. But again, notice how instant that was. That's because they're shooting together. So Jan does the first shot, and pretty much, or Jill for that matter, because all of them do like insane damage to the cameras, and anyone else goes and do the final shot while they're reloading their right ends essentially. So for you as a mastermind, that's pretty much a one shot that ends up happening. So you have like zero reaction to them shooting your cameras. And you see Martin. You see what I mean? Martin is the one that's kind of holding them back here because he keeps going off alone. Otherwise, I would not. If they were moving in a formation, like right now, they're definitely in a formation. You see camping both cams. I cannot play the game, and they're all like insta destroying the cameras. Again, I can only play the game because I have a shield. Otherwise, this would be unplayable. Like the cameras, by the time the cameras recover, they would already done do objective and get off the area. See again, instant destruction right there again. Nothing you can do. A Jan with insta-armament is already like that, but sorry, anti-armament. But the fact that they're comboing shots like that, it just makes it so it's instant to any camera whatsoever. You know, even if you don't have a gun on it. So again, trying to get some shots. The only reason I can because of the shield. But yeah, hopefully you guys can see that Martin is really the one that's holding. Again, just notice how they destroyed both of my cameras, and she's resetting the only one that I'm going back to. So like nothing I can do whatsoever. Both cameras right there have blind spots, so they can shoot my cameras from a spot that I cannot do anything about. So again, like, just hope you guys can see that how it's like they're really just like essentially exploiting everything possible regarding the cams. Especially when they're coordinating how they're destroying the cameras and everything. It just kind of makes the game unplayable for the Mastermind because he relies on cameras to do anything at all. And like I mentioned, all the disadvantages, like the camera cannot move, They can hold the half hostage, and so many things they can do to the camera that you cannot, as the Mastermind, you cannot counter. You cannot do anything about unless you have a shield on your hand. Which, you know, again, unless you're running the super efficient deck that I'm running right now, you likely won't have a shield this often, like you see here. So it would be pretty tough to do anything about this while you do the objective. Again, same scenario here. I know they're probably going to shoot that camera that I'm using right now, so that's why I'm using the camera at the top there. But it doesn't matter because the camera at the top, again, blind spots, so they can shoot the camera while I cannot see them, you know. And the camera gets this right. Notice how she was resetting the camera right there. So my only option to see them is the one she reset it. So again, I cannot play the game for like what 20 seconds, just because of the simple like coordination thing. Now I do have a shield too, actually, because of my deck, so we can do a little bit more. Now again, this is bemusement, but if it was not bemusement, keep in mind they would probably already be at the core at this point. By the time those two cameras recovered, they would already be at the core, destroying it. But because it's bemusement, they had to deal with the bridge there, so that gave me a little bit of time there to get a few more shots in. And again, the fact that they have a door, this is something that, you know, they cannot shoot the camera before going to the door, so that's something I can use to my advantage. The only thing really, besides the show, that I can use to my advantage in how they're playing right here. I see right there, that's pretty interesting. Now, one could say, oh, well, you're not using creatures, so they can only focus on the camera. That is correct, but keep in mind as well that they're destroying the cameras in pretty much 2 shots. So even if there was like 30 creatures in that room, it's not like it would take long. You know, it's not like they would have to divide their attention for that long, you know, that the creatures would kill them. You know, they can just like 2-shot the cameras, pretty much. So it's not like having creatures would do much about them not destroying the cameras, if they wanted to in that case. So again, bridges, very good, as you can tell. This is a very good angle here, but again, because this is another stupid thing as well. Hope you guys can see that. Because of this Raiden, it has way too much range. Like, look at that. Like, she's on the other side of the map and she's shooting my camera. That's just not right. But yeah, this is another kind of this exploit in a way kind of thing about the game. Like, they can literally across the map snipe your camera with the same like level of damage. So that's kind of not, doesn't feel too right to me. But I don't know what you guys think about it. So again, she's already on my cams. She's using the Lightning Hawk as well. Hope you guys can tell that. So that will speed up the process. You see, she's covering those 2 cams. I don't know if you can tell there. Jan's covering those 2 cams on the bridge, and the other ones are covering the cam on the core. I don't know if you could tell that. So I'm trying to focus on Jan because she's the one that's holding me back here. And you see right there, they already got my cam on the core as well. The room in between the core and the bridge is a blind spot. So again, more blind spots because why not? So I cannot really use any cams there. I have my shoot again because of my deck. Otherwise, this camera would be destroyed right now. I'm trying to shoot him, but I just can't hit it. It feels like he has no hitbox. I'm just really bad at aiming with that circle because it's just so misleading. It would be better if it was a dot. But there's a big ass circle. It's kind of hard to tell where your aim is exactly, you know. Now again, notice how instantly that was. Again, just because they're shooting together. So it's pretty much a 2-shot. It's like 1-2, you're gone. Like again, this is another thing. They can shoot the camera while dodging your shots because they can move while shooting. But you as a camera, you're sitting target, so you cannot do the same unless you have a shield. Again, you're pretty much not going to play the game. But keep in mind, like. Imagine even if there was like 20 creatures in the room right there, they could still destroy the camera in 2 shots. Like, so it's not like it would be that much of a hassle. And again, I hope you can see how much my deck is making the difference against their strategy, but not like their strategy is not like super strong and in a way broken. Sure, again, she's coming back to my camera already. Luckily. You see how low that health was on my camera. If anyone else shot the camera with her, even the Val that ran for the bridge, had she shot the camera, it would be gone too, and I wouldn't be able to cover much. But yeah, you can see they're actually making a few mistakes in this game, and that's actually what's giving me. They could have probably played this a little better, and that's what's giving me the win here. besides the map, obviously Bemusement, because of the bridges and everything on Area 3 makes a huge difference. But we did play another game that was a net, and it was pretty much unplayable. I hopefully I have it recorded. I'm not sure, but if I do, I'll probably post it out as well, so you guys can see too. Because that match was way worse than this. They were playing the strategy way better than they did here. I was already expecting Martin to go for the flash there, so I was just kind of waiting. And yeah, not much you can do there. GG. Yeah, that's why I think this. I mean, I hope you can clearly see how this build is very good for Daniel. Like, can you imagine running creatures and getting Kashima the entire way? But this build is so good, and the fact was Bemusement, because this was a very heavy on the time stealing. It did work out. So yeah, guys, hope you guys can see a little bit of the strategy. There's probably more than what I commented on, and I'll see about that in that match if I have it recorded or not.